teachers say that's ghetto.
Gotta kind of relax, catch them off guard, let them put their guard down.
And then hit him with the old
Welcome back, everybody, to the Speaking Sporadically podcast, episode 99. That's what I'm talking about. We're almost there.
Why wasn't I in on that? I kind of feel left out.
I don't know. We were just
How'd you
in tune.
guys?
Dude, me and Isaiah can literally, like, we finish each other's
Sandwiches.
Don't quote Frozen.
I wanted him to quote Frozen.
Yeah.
Like I said,
we
we're
said
different
that before
breed.
Frozen came out in 2013.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Can you believe that, bro? 2013, 10 years
Yeah, I
ago,
know.
Frozen came out.
I know.
That movie's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of elite. I'm not even
I like
gonna lie to you.
it.
It's
I like
pretty
it.
cool. You don't like Frozen?
It's not very. It's not good.
You don't
I'm
like
not gonna sit
Kristoff
down.
and Sven, dude?
The funniest part in that whole movie was when Olaf was like, "Oh, and who's the weird-looking creature? Oh, that's Sven. And who's the reindeer?
Oh, and who's the
Reindeer.
That's pretty gas.
That was the
I
fun.
remember walking out of the theater and my dad was like, "She's pretty hot, wasn't she?" I'm like, yeah.
Bro, it's better than... I don't know. I don't know if I should say it.
No, not that, bro.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Not that, bro.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Anyways, I think Devin's got a couple more stories about his epic childhood that he wanted to talk about.
I actually don't.
Go
the whole
for
thing
it,
was
Dolph.
that I have a terrible memory. I couldn't remember. I thought you guys were going to say some stuff. Because the past two episodes, this is part 3, by the way, of basically our school stories. Because the more you guys talk, the more it reminds me of stuff. I'm like, oh, I remember. I'll say this. And then I keep listening to your story. By the end, I'm like, I forgot what I was going
You
to
gonna
say.
say the thing you said during break?
What'd I say?
The forehead,
Oh, no.
the smooch.
That's only funny if you know everybody
Oh, no,
involved,
no,
I think. You know what I mean?
No.
I got one that's pretty embarrassing. Okay.
Is it you?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
I'm just
okay.
gonna preface this out. This was pretty bad, bro. So 4th grade, I'm low key kind of stupid, bro. No kizzy. We had to do like these, like, you know those ELA things where we had to go through and correct all the malfunctions or problems with the paragraph and whatnot.
Yeah, bro, I got to do, like, loads of them right now.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I was horrible, bro. I got an F on one. Like, I was just stupid. Like,
Some of them were tough. Some of them
could
were tough.
not read English.
To this
dog.
day, Sherman asked me the other week, he's like, can you, like, add a final sentence, make it look good?
See, the problem is with those is
That's fair
I
enough.
struggle with those too, but it's not because like I was just
It's
dumb
because
in
my
English.
brain just auto-corrected everything.
Exactly, and like to me it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
you could write in this terrible
Yeah.
English, but to me I'd read it like yeah, it makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
well,
There's
I would
nothing
just
wrong with
auto
that.
So those things don't make
much
much
problems.
That's actually a thing, like with education. Like those things don't actually, they're not as effective as teachers think, because have you ever seen the like illusion? It's a triangle and it says the bird in the box, and everybody reads it the first time. It says the bird.
Well, it's
in
the
the
same
box.
thing. You've seen those messages that are almost like holographics.
Holographics.
Hieroglyphics, yeah.
Hieroglyphics.
What are we talking about?
But anyways, they'll have like the first letter, and then it'll have like an exclamation point. And then it'll have like a 0. It would pretty much not be spelled out normally.
Oh, hieroglyphics.
Yeah, hieroglyphics.
Oh, yeah. It's like
may
like
have missed that.
anglicized.
Yeah, it's like super broken up English, right?
Yeah, okay.
But you can still read it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
So like especially the developing mind is always going to be seeking patterns, and it's going to seek to recognize patterns that it already understands and will recognizes.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at English and you can understand the paragraph, but there's like a punctuation mark missing or like a comma missing, well, sometimes you can tell if a comma's missing. Let's eat grandma, let's eat grandma, stuff like that. But like if it's a misspelled word or something like that, especially as a kid, dude, you're just gonna skip over it because it's not important.
Yeah.
So those things don't really work. But
Yeah, and I mean that was never my strong suit. I had to really work on that stuff, like grammar rules, punctuation rules. Like some people just pick
those
that
are
up, bro.
hard, dude.
I
Even
don't-
now, it's like, I
just
understand
I just didn't need it. I just straight up like as a kid I didn't need it. It didn't bother me. I read it
Wasn't
the exact same. To me it just wasn't important.
Anyways, I was some dog water on those. I got one wrong, and I think that this was my 4th grade teacher. I think she was just kind of like fed up with me because I didn't see that look was spelled wrong, like L-O-O-K. I think it was just L-O-K, and so I didn't correct that. And she's like, how do you even miss this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. And then she's like, come on, Jacob, you know how to spell look. Spell look. And I don't know if I just got like stage fright or like what, like performance anxiety, but I just sat there and I was like nothing was coming. I didn't even know what a letter was. I had no idea what the alphabet was at this point. And she's like, come on, Jacob, spell look. And she got to the point where she thought I was like messing with her. Like I knew how to spell it, but I couldn't. And I'm like, I can't. Like it just be me, my casual self. I was like,
Just trying to
can't.
prove your point.
And then,
trying to make it.
yeah,
make
she's
sense.
starting to make a scene. Like, hold this real quick. And she's like, "Come on, Jacob, look, look." And I'm just sitting there. And I'm like, and she was getting pissed. And I'm like, and then she literally goes up to the whiteboard, spells it out like big caps, and I was like, yeah, look, okay, yeah, I got that.
That's what I thought.
She was livid, dude.
That reminds me of
Like,
this
it
story.
seemed irrationally mad.
Bro, that is me from 3rd grade all the way up until I graduated with math, because I got lucky on the stupid math placement test that determined if you were supposed to go in advance or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. See.
Yeah, the way
this, blah, blah, blah.
Isaiah
Like,
tutored me in English is the way I tutored him in
Yeah,
math.
thank goodness, dude. Because
Like,
I remember
it was perfect yin and
Dude,
yang.
I remember we used to have those, like, you know those, like, brown books that for math? Like, it always looked like they made it out of, like, discarded toilet paper rolls.
Oh, yeah, the
like,
core
those
values.
just core
books.
values. Yeah, core values.
Oh yeah.
The
So, like,
simple solutions.
I was okay with simple solution, although half the time I showed up to class, everyone else was watching Teen Titans Go, and I was in there doing my simple solutions.
Yeah, dude. I started that habit young.
Yeah, but but I remember, like, I'd go home, try so hard, dude. My dad's so smart at math. Even he couldn't help me, bro. I was a lost cause with it until, like, now. I'm not even gonna lie. I got lucky, like, every time. But, like, and then the next day, we'd be going over the questions, and every day, bro, I'm like, it was all random. It was like popsicle stick names still. From 3rd grade to, like, 6th grade, and then after, I had to, bro, first of all, I just dreaded getting my name called because I knew my answer was wrong, bro. And, like, having other, like, students grade your book, I always, I'm like, I'm so sorry.
There you go. Good luck, bro.
Just take a red marker. But in 6th grade, before we went to junior high, I stayed in the advanced math program because I'm like, maybe if I can, like, barely scrape by, it'll work out in the end. And it did. But our math teacher gave me a talk. She's like,
moving down.
yeah, she's like, look, you survived, but it's only going to get harder from here. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll double down. Maybe I'll get more serious in junior high, I think. And, like, I'm good with all the other lessons, so maybe it'll click or something like that. Never did. I lied to her face, but I'm just glad they didn't force me to go down. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe it would have been a breeze. But I remember there were some people in, like, the normal math class that hated it because they were, like, in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was nice being the advanced just because everyone kind of cared a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're telling the story of how you couldn't spell look reminded me of a story, and I think
You couldn't spell book.
it was a similar word that I botched so bad.
Cook.
It was either like 5th, 4th, or 3rd grade, and we were the whole
No.
entire grade gathered. Can I speak?
No. Do 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 do.
Do you know another one?
I was gonna say Barnabook. I think that was a name.
I guess they shook.
Yeah. No, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
So it was either like 5th, 4th, or 3rd grade, maybe 2nd. It was not 6th grade, but elementary. The whole entire grade gathered in a classroom to do, like, spelling bee pre-trials to determine if you would go up on stage and compete in front of the whole school against the other grades. And all you had to do was, like, pass a couple rounds, beat a few people. I'm like, you know what? I might be able to do this. I'll try. Very first word. She goes, little. I'm like, I got this. I specifically remember this is burned in my brain. Litte. I'm like, she's like, no, it's incorrect.
That's
I'm
a
like-
little wrong,
I'm
buddy.
like, she's like, that's wrong. I'm like, I swear that was right. I was like, I kept going through my brain because I spell words by, like, looking at them. Like, I picture them in my brain.
Yeah.
I'm like, Litte. And she's like, it's Little. I was like, that scarred me for life, bro. I sat down. I was like,
correct.
you gotta be kidding. The first round I got out. Like, I didn't need to go up for those school, but a couple rounds. Not to get out on a word easy, because they literally were like, all right, this is like a breeze round. Everyone should get these. It's like little. I'm like, bet.
I love this,
Messed
but I
it
never
up.
wanted to go up on, like,
Oh, yeah.
stage,
No,
bro.
I didn't
I was always
it
so
was-
scared. I, like, purposely, I'm like, all right, like, 6 people left, like 5 people go up, 4 people from each grade level or whatever it was.
It might have been more than
And it
that,
was
like
like,
8 from each.
all right,
grade.
ginormous. J. Just I did not want to go on stage.
No,
dude.
I was horrible at spelling, but so I never wanted to go on the stage, right? But I just figured
It was fun in the classroom.
I wanted
it's
to win
fun
a couple
classroom.
rounds, not look like an idiot.
Spelling
Well, no,
Sparkle.
bro,
That was
like,
my thing.
I was
that
so
was my
bad.
jam.
Like, here's the problem. I was so bad at spelling. I got like 3 words right. Now I'm like, oh no, this is
He
getting
tried
bad.
to misspell
There
it.
was like 10. There was like 10 people up, and I don't know why I was getting on top of myself. So like maybe I am good at this. Like just maybe I got that instinct, that niche. I'm different maybe. So I'm going to win it, bro. I get the word coffee, COFFE. There's 2 E's in coffee, and she just sits there and stares at me. She's like, "Is that it?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's it." And then she's like, "You're wrong," and I'm like, And then I go up to my boys, and they're kind of like looking at me. I'm like, "Yeah, I got that crap wrong on purpose." And they go up there, and then like, start dapping me up and stuff.
You sit down, you're like, God, what I miss?
And I was like, I just wanted to show people like I could easily go if I wanted to. I just didn't want
There's
to.
this hilarious skit that I saw, and I can't remember who it's by. I'm sorry. If you know, leave it down in the comments. It was like a pretty famous skit, but it was basically like this guy. He told a story about when he was in grade school, and he was in a spelling competition, and he was like one of those guys that did not want to be in it at all. No. It was like he was sitting there watching, and this guy was like super like, dude, I do not want to be here, but you have to. And like, all right, first word super easy, cat. K-A-T, I'm out of here. He walks off the stage and says to his buddy, I knew there was 2 T's. I still remember that skit. I may look it up because there was more. There was more to the joke, but I just remember that. It was like, K-A-T, I'm out of here. Wanted to get on purpose. I knew there was 2 T's.
Have you seen a? Oh, go ahead.
There was a scene like actually during the practice round of the real spelling bee on the stage that someone missed one of the practice words, and it was something like that. It was like dog or tree. They got it wrong, and the lecturer was like, "Well, good thing this is a practice round."
Got to get it out now. No, have you seen the one skit that's like it was the first spelling bee ever, caveman spelling bee, and it's like the world's smartest guy goes up there, and it's caveman words, right? So he goes up there, first guy to go up there, and the what do you call him, the lectern or whatever, the guy,
Yeah,
the moderator,
moderator, yeah, that's
goes
right.
Rook, and the dude goes, huh? Can I wait? Say it again, and the moderator goes Rook, and I was like, can I get in the sentence? And I can't remember what the sentence was, but it was all just bing bang, took a lock up, Rook, bing along. Okay, and he goes, are you okay? And the moderator goes, that is correct.
Are you?
Rook.
No, you seen the clip with the person asking the guy all these fast questions, and he keeps going, huh? And that's the answer.
Oh, yeah,
Or he's
yeah.
like, what? And they're like, yes, it was Sir James Watt. He gets them all right, like all 10 of them. It was hilarious.
Oh man. Oh, I do know that.
I
That
wish
is
I
such a
knew
good
more
one.
of the questions they
Or
asked.
like, who's at first base? Yes, it is. Jim who? No. Or whatever. I can't remember how they proposed it. Someone's asking a question. Oh yeah. Who's at first base? Who? No, I'm asking you. Yeah, no, who? No, I was asking you who's at first base. And I'm saying who is at first base. That's what I'm trying to ask you.
There's a famous movie scene that's a lot like that, where they're trying to ask like who someone is or something.
Oh, there's one like I think it was a parody of another movie, but it was a doctor on a plane, and one lady's sick, and the doctor's trying to figure out when they can land, and he goes like, when's the earliest we can land? He's talking to the pilot, and the pilot goes, I don't know. It's like, how do you not know when the earliest we can land is? He's like, oh, or I don't know. And he goes, well, can't you guess? And he goes like, not for about 2 hours. And he goes, why can't you guess for another 2 hours? And then he goes, something about fog, and then he says something about whatever. Dang, it was a really old movie. I wish I could remember it all because it was so funny. The whole movie is that, and the whole thing is a parody about like English language, how stupid it is.
That sounds horrible.
Dude, are you kidding?
I
gotta show you guys.
Nah.
Because it was a parody.
Let's
So if you saw the first movie and then you watch the parody, you get all the jokes. I'll show you because you don't need to know the movie to watch the whole thing.
I'm not gonna watch the whole thing.
Just the funny part,
Just
in
the funny
cockpit,
clips.
bro. Come on,
Funny
man.
clips.
Let's see. English language is so stupid, dude. Have you seen the comedian? Like, I don't want to take his joke, so I wish I could remember his name. But I think he was from Israel, and he's an immigrant, and he learned English, and he's like, it's the stupidest thing in the world. Like, you think learning like Mandarin's hard? No way, dude. He goes, I dance. You dance. He dances. Are you dancing more than us? 1,000 people could dance. 1,000 people could dance. But he dances. And then all right, you guys are just a tough crowd, I guess. This is funny. I was rolling laughing. Do you not get it?
So that was, yeah, I mean, I get it, but
After we talk about how we hate English for like 10 minutes, you decide to tell a bunch of English jokes.
Because it's stupid.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Fun.
I don't get it.
Maybe we're stupid.
Let's go back to school jokes. Those are hitting a little better.
Yeah.
Those
School
were
stories.
hitting a little better. All right, my bad.
What?
You gotta
Do it.
say it now.
Nah, bro, this is completely irrelevant. One time I go to McDonald's, and it's like 10th time this week. And I go up there, I'm like, hello? They're like, pull up. I'm like, no, you didn't even listen to it. Jacob, pull up. Damn it. No, I stole that joke from a comedian. Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah,
It's way funnier when
I
he
love
says it because he
Gabriel.
calls himself Fluffy because he's
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
larger. He's like, I like to do the funny voices because he can manipulate his voice. He's like, I like to do it at
Yeah.
drive-thrus. It's really funny. I'll do a girl's voice and pull up and they'll be looking out the window or like looking at my car to see if there's a girl, but it's just me. He's like, it never works at my neighborhood McDonald's, so I'll pull up. He goes, brr. He can make a really good car. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
he
brr,
does really good noises.
And he like does the parking. He's like, what would you like today? And he's like, could I get pull up?
Pull up.
No, I didn't even tell you what. Gabriel, pull up. And he's like, damn it.
I just had another school story, but I forgot it.
I had one when you
You're
were telling one story, but I
so
forgot
bad
as
about
well.
that.
I know, we're terrible.
When you were telling the spelling bee thing, bro, I had one popped into memory, and I'm like, that might have been the single-handed funniest thing.
Dude, you guys
ever
both
witnessed
have like,
in my
yo,
life.
this is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Hey,
It's the
shut up,
funniest thing
bro.
that's ever happened.
Shut up, bro.
I mean,
Yeah, I
I
love-
bet they
if you
all are
watch,
funny.
if
but-
you watch the original clips, you're gonna laugh. I just can't do it justice.
I love prefacing things with that. Like, dude, this might be single-handedly the funniest thing that ever occurred to me in my entire life. No, but there's times I genuinely think that, like, in the moment, dude. Like, I just nod my head. I'm like, I will never forget this.
I know.
How many things do you think you guys have just forgotten, though?
So many.
Like, it's
Dude,
unreal.
It pains me
crazy.
because my memory is more terrible than the average person's. I'm a firm
No,
believer.
This is what I think about quite a lot. Like, say I do something like kind of stupid. I always think like it's so weird that like potentially I could forget this, but they remember it forever. Like this, they
Yeah.
remember this memory that I also share that memory with them, but I don't.
Yeah.
You know, like the thing you mentioned earlier with the forehead kiss. And how that one person probably, like, most likely, there's a chance they don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
But you, it's like ingrained permanently
know,
in your
that's so
memory.
true.
It's so weird to me.
Like, I think about this all the time. Like, people could ask me if I've ever been to like a place. Like, a few years ago, if someone would ask me, like, have you ever been to Disney? I'd have to think about it. Like, it's just showing how bad my memory is. I'm like, but then they would tell me a story about it, and then it would click. Like, oh yeah, I have been there. Like, I literally forget things that I have done
Yeah.
until someone reminds me. Like, oh yeah, I did do that.
I had the same thing. I had a friend that left the country for a long time, and she told me about it and everything. And then we were doing this quiz, like things we know about each other. And the question was like, has this person ever left the country? And I was like, no. Nope. Just were gone for like a month. I just forgot about that. Crazy the stuff you can forget, though.
I know.
I don't have it with places so much. It's so weird, though, because I'll just, like, I realize this, like, I'm going through, like, a school day or just a random day in the gym, and I'll be like, most likely,
Never remember this day.
never remember this. Like, I could, unless I do something absolutely out of pocket. That's why I try to act crazy as hell, man.
I remember that. I was,
Create
yeah,
more
I was gonna
memories.
say. I remember like just the stupidest things that I'd done. That like, yeah, I'll just say it for saying it. There was one time it was a first year of track. It's a 7th grade track, right? I sucked, but I had to get new shoes because
He
I ran the
sucked.
first like. I sucked until like sophomore year, bro, which was unfortunate because I sucked after that too. But
I was like, wait, you're right, bro.
I was
You're fine.
average
You're good.
starting
You're good. You're
sophomore
good.
year. I just wasn't good. You know what I'm
Usable,
saying?
usable.
I was
It's terrible.
I wasn't an asset. I was a filler. But I wasn't. But I needed new shoes because I ran for like the first week with like casual, like they were tennis shoes, but they were not like shoes that I really needed to use.
It's not like trainers.
So I got new ones, bro. I got new shoes, and I had gym class, and I'm like, I'll just break them in, which was a smart thing to do. But then after that, I just never switched back into my other shoes. I'm like, well, it's pointless now. I'll just wear them, keep breaking them in until track. like that day. But I walked in one class, bro, and I remember one girl in our grade was like, and of course, I don't know why girls felt the need to do this, bro, because I hated it as like an awkward kid, because it's 7th grade. I don't know why they feel the need to like say something to make someone feel cool or included, because it always backfires. They're like, Isaiah, new kicks? And I go, no, I've had these. Like, I didn't have to lie, but like I just did for no reason, and I'll never forget that. I remember exactly what she said. Isaiah, you don't talk to me ever. New kicks? Look down.
Like, it's like, I don't want your charity. Don't give me your pity charity attention.
Felt like busting them out today. Dust them off. Why? I should have said why, bro. New kicks? Why?
Pumped up kicks, if you're asking me.
Oh, no. I wasn't that kid. I just didn't like talking to people.
No, there's one day I was walking into school, had my cornrows in my hair, like first day I'm walking in.
And this was recent. It's like senior year.
Yeah, this is senior year.
Yeah.
And one girl was like, oh, Jacob, did you change your hair? And I'm like, oh, just a little bit. Did you change your hair? She's like, oh, yeah, she got some shading. I started talking about her hair, and I'm like, all right.
It worked out.
I just smoothed that out.
Clutch it up.
But it was so funny that she asked. She was like, did you change your hair?
No.
Oh, bro, like yesterday, how I just had like my normal hair. And today I woke up like this. Like, no change.
Dude, I always pull that out, dude. Did you cut your hair? No? Wait. Was it? No. Yo, who cut my hair?
I would get pissed when people, like, if I got a new haircut, someone wouldn't say anything about it, bro.
They want it or what?
They want it, bro.
They didn't say anything?
I'd get pissed.
Damn.
Be like, this was a waste.
This was a waste. I cut this off for attention and it didn't work.
It didn't work, bro.
There was been times in my household where, like,
but you know when I
like
got my back half, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
The back half, like when I got haircuts my junior and senior years, bro, it was like 5 inches was coming off.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Like it was a large change.
It was wild.
So
there were times in my house it was like, notice anything different? Nope. Go back to coloring, my little coloring book. Are you sure? Yep. What about my hair? Nope. Coloring book. I got it cut. Oh.
cool.
Isaiah, don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like you were really stupid as a kid.
I was. I knew
like
a lot of random
absurdly
stuff.
stupid.
So what's weird? I think what's weird about
I wrong?
me and my childhood.
I think about I didn't have social skills at all.
Well, social skills is different than just being dumb.
No, okay. Well, Jen can back me up. Okay. So I was terrible at math, but I knew a lot of random stuff. And if I liked something, like if I didn't interest something, like history, I was always good at history. Geography, I love geography. English was kind of my thing. Like I thought it was pretty important, so I liked learning it and I liked doing it.
Isaiah was always sitting with those facts like, Jacob, we live in like the Midwest Ohio. I'm like, oh.
And like, well,
okay.
And I liked learning like bigger words or whatever. I like doing that stuff. I just sucked at math and kind of at science. But socially, dude, I think what it came down to was that my parents were just friends with like a younger group of adults, and those kids are just now getting into high school, or they're friends with people from Minster or like different areas and like Sydney. So like anybody that I like knew like my age were either my cousins and always went to a different school, or just went to like a different school, or were just young, like or not. I guess I said my age, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the question I have
So
for you.
I just didn't socialize with anybody that I went to school with.
I think I'm gonna bring up kind of what you're gonna ask.
Starting from kindergarten or like even preschool all the way up, I didn't know those people for so long, but they already knew each other. So all these circles, and I'm not complaining because I figured it out. We got it together. But all these circles were already formed, and I was outside of it. And the way kids are, and I'm learning this in college, the way kids are, dude, is, especially growing up, socially, you got your people. And you don't really let, like, to secure your spot with those people, and it's kind of like an unspoken rule with everybody in the group, you don't really let anyone else in.
Because they might not be your spot.
Bump you out.
Just
so you don't do it. And so I think that's what it was socially for me.
Yeah.
And I think I knew that rule. So I just kind of, I was left to my own devices. And I was cool with everybody. Like, I was chill. But I never tried to, like... Don't be weird. We're on camera now. You can't... I
think my head's out of camera, actually.
Yeah, but your tongue was right next to the mic. You went, like, I think you could hear that.
What? Okay. Can I go?
No.
I was gonna say. I think me and Jacob were gonna ask the same question.
What?
Like, do you guys? Or I guess it's. I think I know the answer from you, Jacob. Like, do you guys remember making friends?
Oh
Growing up?
shoot! I did not think you were gonna ask.
That's
I
why,
remember
like,
making friends with Jake.
Do you remember ever like kind of being alone, like
I
making
remember-
your own friends, like
I
trying
thought
to
you were
get
gonna
in-
ask how hard it was to not live in town.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
separate
dude.
question, but let's talk about this one first. Like, do you guys remember that, like growing up and like having to work your way in or like meet new people?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Because
It was
for me,
terribly difficult. Not terrible, just difficult.
After you talk about like you didn't really like have any cousins go to your grade or like you knew or really.
So you had it
I was
easy.
exact opposite. I cannot remember making like any like I remember kind of like getting close to you guys through scouts, but like for as long as I can remember, I've had friends because I knew my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have literally pictures of us as babies, like our parents holding us up because we can't walk.
Yeah.
So like as long as I can remember, like we were friends. Like Derek and Jason, we both had on. I have no idea like when we became friends because I think
Right.
it was like
You
ever
just
since
grew
we were
up
born.
together, right?
So
Yeah.
like I'm kind of like grateful and thankful that I never really had the like I guess pain or struggle to try to find friends because like as long as I can remember I knew them, they were my friends, and then obviously slowly you'd meet new people through different things and like your group would grow or whatever. But
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite.
you're with him.
Yeah,
right?
I remember becoming friends with Isaiah. Like I literally remember like fifth, like me and Isaiah were pretty early, and then I remember becoming friends with like Luke and Brad and Tristan
Yeah.
and Regs and all those people through like sixth grade,
Mm-hmm.
and then football was a big one for me. Like seventh grade football, I became friends. So that's when I really became close with like all the guys
Yeah.
in my grade.
Do you remember though, like even earlier, like in elementary, like when did you start like hanging out with different guys or getting your groups or like friends? Do you remember that?
I remember Trey invited me to a birthday party one time, and that was pretty legit.
See,
Because I
that's-
didn't even.
Yeah.
That's one thing. It
But,
probably
like,
was a big thing on
I don't
parents.
know how I got. Because there was like 10 people there, and I was one of them. Like, what?
I remember.
I was grateful, but I'm like, why am I here, bro?
I remember Max King invited me to his birthday party.
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah.
Because I had Beyblades.
Yeah, and that's I guess how I met a couple people.
Yeah.
But I can't remember too well because
But-
I just wasn't socially developed to like
Yeah.
think of like, man, this is something I should remember.
I just wasn't around kids my own age for a good amount of time. Like, even like up until like second grade, unless I was like in school with people that were already friends or like already had friends. I just wasn't doing much. The only sport I did was like the pee-wee soccer, you know what I mean, or whatever that's called. I did that and then running club, which those helped a little bit, but like it wasn't. It was kind of like, I don't want to say it was too late, but for that like age group, it was kind of late because those people were already friends to begin with.
Yeah.
I guess
But-
yeah, I did baseball and 5-star basketball.
Yeah.
I actually did basketball until 8th grade.
See, but that's still like later than what I'm thinking about. Like, do you remember like first, second, third grade? Like, did you guys just kind of like was on your own,
no, dude.
Actually,
or like did
Like,
you have
my,
friends then?
my
or-
first day of first
sorry.
grade, except for like the people I knew in my kindergarten class, like because we went half day on kindergartens,
Right.
I knew nobody.
So like you guys
in the
were.
same boat,
Yeah,
dude.
just like dropped into school.
That's-
I met all these people.
So I've never had to
Like
experience
that is so weird because you were probably like, yo, Jed, Derek, I know you, like especially because most of your cousins are in your
Yeah,
grade.
and another
in your
thing too
grade.
that kind of relates to what you were saying earlier with like living in town. Like again, my neighbors, like
Yeah.
Owen's my neighbor. I can't remember the first time that I like said hey or like hung out with them. Like again, like ever since we were kids, you know, our parents were neighbors, so like we would come over and they would probably play, and you know, and just as long as I could remember, I knew Owen too.
Yeah, really the only person was my neighbor, Emily.
yeah.
It's really the only person I knew.
Hmm.
Other than that, I was kind of like, just send her.
I didn't know a single person,
But yeah,
although
2 other people I knew.
were we ever in the same class here? I don't think we ever were.
In elementary, bro, never.
I don't think so.
Never.
But no, I do remember. I was a small fry. Still am, but like I was like way down there. And I remember Evan, which you've seen, Evan E. You've seen on the pod before. I actually like he was like one of the only people I talked to, bro. Except for like people at the table, I guess. You know, what I mean, he was one of the only people I talked to. He would always get in trouble for calling me little guy. And Evan's always been that guy to like kind of like say something like that, which I never cared about because I had someone to talk to. He invited me to like his birthday party, so like I had a friend. He would always call me little guy. I'm like, well, I'm known for being little guy. I'm known for being little guy. Dude, he would always get in trouble for it. And I'd be like, yo, I'm right here.
Isn't it my choice?
I'm like, yeah,
He gets in
bro,
trouble for
like, it's fine. It's all right. Let him back up in the front of the line next to me, bro. I got no one else to talk to up here. I'm stranded.
Yeah.
Fish out of water.
See,
But
it's probably,
I think it made me. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, probably was like, I guess again, not for me, but probably for you guys, it was probably your parents that were like really huge. Because I even remember like going to birthday parties, and like we would invite my class. Like I had a birthday party where my whole class was invited, and again, that was all my parents. Like I may have, I don't even know if I even gave them an invitation.
Yeah,
but it was like it was huge on parents. That like
I know my parents, like friends, have like plenty of like kids around my age, and I know them and they know me, but like there's just no opportunity to really truly roast for me to come like good friends with them.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's a different age group, bro.
Yeah, I think you had the perfect combination of you weren't the first kid either. I think when you're the first kid, the parents still trying to learn a little bit, and then your parents hung around with your classmates' parents.
Well, I don't think it was really that. I think it was just in general. Like, I think naturally parents, like when you're young, like you help your kids find friends. Because like I got invited to, I think, a couple birthday parties that I don't know if my parents ever talked to their parents, you know? I think it was just kind of natural to just like,
I don't know.
you know, your friend doesn't, or my young son in elementary doesn't really have a set in stone friend group. So let's just invite his class because he knows them, and then, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a really
I could
good,
be wrong.
a really
I think
good
I
idea.
think they're just parents.
Then parents
Yeah.
must
Were a
have
big
missed the
thing.
memo with me, bro.
Really?
I get invited to some stuff, but
I got invited to 3 birthday parties all throughout elementary, and I mean they pretty much stop after that. So like 3 total.
yeah.
Trey was talking. Were you there when Trey was talking about he got invited to? Oh, it might have been just I don't know, but oh, he hasn't been on the podcast. One of our guy classmates had a pool, had a really nice house, and he was having a pool party, and like he could invite like 25 people or so, right? And it was a big deal. Like he had official envelopes, and he'd he'd bring them to school, and like he'd have like 2 guys help him pass out. And Trey was one of the guys that helped pass him out. And he's like, "Do you remember that?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember that. I was not invited." And I didn't take it awkward because I like the guy now. And even like in 6th grade, we did a big project. You know the I don't know what it was called, but like the barter and trade project.
Oh yeah.
6th grade or 5th grade or whatever.
I think it was
5th grade. Like I was in his group for that, and like we were real chill. It was fun. It was a good time. And I went over to his house and stuff like that and messed around. But I'm like, no, I don't think you invited that, Trey. He's like, what about this one? No, Trey, I didn't get invited to that either. But I think I'm actually kind of glad because I think it made me socially fortuitous.
Yeah, I think that probably definitely helped.
Yeah.
Having to go out on your own to
I'm
meet people,
more-
because like I've never had to just straight up meet friends like on my own, you know, because like even then I didn't like move away to college like completely by myself, and like ever since I remember, like I would meet friends of friends, like mutual friends, or like get introduced or whatever, but
Yeah.
like never just like straight up like, wow, I'm all alone, no nowhere, like, hey, what's your name, and then go from there.
I'm really bad at that.
I'm pretty
I'm-
fine.
If it
too.
wasn't for sports and scouts, I'd have no
Yeah.
friends.
I'm pretty fine doing
Yeah,
it,
I'm
but
the same.
I think it's 2 sides of the same coin. It's like I was talking earlier how I was like, I think sometimes I'm just a little too self-conscious about like what's going on socially, or if people like notice like something awkward that I think I've done or something like that. I think like that. But then on the other side, like, just I'll have those days where I'm just more willing like just to go out and talk to somebody I don't even know about, or someone I've known for a long time, but like not really like on like any kind of personal level. But I'll just like go up and start a conversation. But
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
no. Yeah, it all works out in the end, I feel like.
Yeah.
I
What?
was such a savage during that barter and trade thing.
Speak louder, brother.
You made
Make
because
that
you
up.
made bracelets, dude. Those paracord ones. I think I won that. I'm not gonna lie. If we're talking about trade value,
So what this was, I'll set it up, is basically every kid had to come in and make, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys remember, something that they personally made.
just a
And
product.
it could be, a product, and like any number of them, like if it was one really big thing or like a lot of little things, and basically you would barter and trade with your entire class. They'd give you like in a half hour, like trade value, you can get whatever you want, swap it, and like if you don't want something, you can respectfully say, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to get something else or whatever. And I made ping pong ball shooters out of like pieces of wood. It was a crossbow. It
All
was
right, we're in the same boat here.
It was a piece of wood one way, and then the other one way, and then you put like nails in, and then you get a rubber band, and the rubber band would do like a, what do you call it, like a
Hairpin.
Clothespin.
close,
It would
like
clip
a,
in.
the one you hang clothes on
clothespin.
on a line. Yeah, and you would stick your no, you don't.
No, I'm just playing with you.
You stick the rubber band in there, and it would hold it, and then you stick the rubber band, and then to launch it, you just open it up, and the rubber band would launch and shoot that. So I made like a couple of those.
Just saying, I caught like a piece of cloth out of there.
I saw that. Was nice.
Mr. Miyagi, eat your heart out. Took you years. It took me a few seconds.
And I remember one of my friends, Lucas, had like this big contraption that he made, and I didn't really care. And like I don't think anyone was trading with him. He's like, "You want to trade?" I'm like, "Sure." So I like handed him my stuff, and I ended with it. It was funny. It was just weird.
I built 3 or 4 sturdy wood block catapults. Like I dug into like a slice of 2x4, like carved it out. It was all wood except for I did use like really like sturdy rubber bands, and that was the only thing. And I just you wind it up with like this little spindle, and it was like, and then you hooked it into a metal hook, like for like gates, like those tiny little latches. It's just a hook and like a hole on the other end. I made 4 of those. I think my trade value was like the highest out of any product there, bro.
I remember the one person who just brought in the straight. I think it was Evan, brought in like a city, big piece of plywood and like a 3x4. Like wooden towers and just one big city object.
Yeah, he let me siege it.
Yeah,
he let me put it to siege, bro, with the catapults. It was
That's
wicked,
funny.
dude.
No,
I remember,
but people come up to me and I'm like, "In what world did you think
that would
fly?"
Yeah, like, wow, how'd you sell that? And who's gonna take it home?
No,
bro?
but something I actually got is a Christmas ornament that still hangs on our tree every single year.
That's actually pretty cool. I got like those. I know none of us are females, but those necklaces that are like multi. There's like a bunch of necklaces in one, and they're like basically quad, with a little phrase or whatever. They kind of look like scarves. You know what I'm talking about? Or even remotely. Well, someone made like a lot, and they were like trading groups of 4 or 5 of them. And then one of the teachers came up to me and was like, "Hey, yo, just let her. Let's trade with them. Like, let's trade with them." I'm like, "I built these with my parents.
Yeah.
These took hours." And she's like, "They're not gonna want it. They're gonna trade it for something else. Some guy will get it." I'm like, checks out. And it was actually the teacher that whipped a marker at somebody. But I'm like, all right, I got you. So I'm like, "Hey, do you want to trade this for this?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay." So I got 4 of these like shawl, necklace, scarf things. I'm like, "Great." And I go to see her. I'm like, "What do you want me to do with these?" She's like, "Trade them." I'm like, you're supposed to be teaching this exercise. You don't understand. These are not going to trade for anything. And she's like, "Oh, let's give them to your mom." I'm like, "She doesn't want 4 of these. Here, take one." Gave it to another teacher. I'm like, "Oh, these are brownie points right here." And I gave one to my mom. Haven't seen that in a while. I don't think she liked it too much.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I remember, dude, I was obsessed with catapults for a while. My mom just showed me. She put it on Facebook.
Catapult or trebuchet?
They were... Oh, trebuchet all the way, but I always made catapults because trebuchet was too hard.
Yeah.
It was just too...
What are we
it was-
watching the trebuchet?
Dude, we should just make a big trebuchet for the pod and just have it.
Oh, bro.
Why? I have a lake. We can launch people into it.
Will we make a webby?
What are we making a trebuchet right now?
What are we making a trebuchet right now?
But now my mom just recently like saw it on Facebook. She posted years ago, and I made one out of like just like cardboard, little plastic spoon. And that might be the earliest memories, just building that.
Wow, your mom must be really proud of you, Isaiah.
It's time to land this plane.
On that note,
What?
never mind. On that note, I guess we'll wrap her up.
This is 99, right?
Yeah, this is 99.
99.
I cannot wait to make the 100th episode, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be a
so
fun
excited.
one. We're really excited. Got a lot of good things planned for it. So
Looking
Watch
forward
it.
to it.
check
Yeah.
it out. We already made it, guys.
We tricked you. We fooled you.
It's awesome.
Luke will be
Yeah.
back from his hiatus for a little bit on the 100th. So look
Yeah,
forward to
Luke
that.
was on the snowmobile trip, so couldn't
Yeah.
make these, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But until then,
Thank you for listening. You guys are awesome. Subscribe. Did we say that this episode? All that stuff? Whatever.
follow us at Speaking Sporadically, Instagram,
Subscribe to
TikTok.
us, please.
Peace.